turn around. Every now and then I get a little bit lonely, and you're never coming around. Ben Fox Rubin and Roger Cheng.
Hello.
You know I couldn't
Eclipse
resist.
jokes.
Yes, as Brian has teased, we'll be talking a little bit about the eclipse.
Mm-hmm.
You know, offering a little bit, some advice, some tips.
Some eclipse tips.
Eclipse tips, yes. But before that, we'll be talking about Nokia 8 and whether Nokia can make yet another comeback.
I feel like we've talked about the Nokia comeback so many times, but I'm going like
It's a nice phone.
They're a little train that could. I want
Right.
to see them do well.
So there's a Nokia 8 as well as the Essential phone, which you can now order. So without further ado, if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section. We'll get to them in 3 minutes and 59 seconds.
Hang on, Vamp. I'm still finishing up a couple
Vamp,
things.
vamping, tap dancing.
Okay. Hey, how are you today?
I'm wonderful.
Yeah.
I'm actually glad we're going to be talking about phones today
Yeah.
because
And not other stuff.
I love phones
Right.
and
yes.
not other stuff.
Not other stuff.
You know,
All right.
it's good to get back to our comfort zone. And
Yeah. The core.
Yeah,
The
the-
core of what the 359 has been about, which is just talk about phones that aren't the iPhone. Because if we ever talk about the iPhone, people get very, very angry.
That's true. We're sheeple.
We are sheeple.
Yeah.
Tim, is that check in the mail?
All right.
Y'all ready?
Ready
Yes.
to go.
All right, here we go. Let's get this podcast recorded. We'll be back to join y'all in the chat and take your comments and questions. And here we go in 3, 2.
Welcome to the 359. I'm Roger Cheng.
I'm Ben Fox Rubin.
Nokia's back, sort of. A Finnish startup HMD Global yesterday unveiled the Nokia 8. CNET has all the details. Check it out. It's a sleek new phone. It's got the power of what Nokia is calling dual sight. And this is the ability to live stream video with a split screen using both your front and rear camera. So basically, you can get the person's reaction as well as what you're seeing.
Right.
Call it
Snapchat generation.
Call it a bothy.
A bothy.
Bothy.
Why did you say sort of? What, Nokia is back, but only kind of?
Well, it's not really the Nokia company, right? This is a Finnish startup that has bought the licensing rights to use the Nokia name. So, yeah, yes, the Nokia brand is back, but Nokia as a company, as an entity, this is different.
Finnish startup is called HMD. They're also
Yep.
behind the return of the Nokia 3310, correct?
Yeah, the candy bar feature phone that was the hit of Mobile World Congress.
Right. So I would like to give a shout out to this Finnish startup that I know almost nothing about to say that great job. You're actually getting some heat and some attention to Nokia. And for people that have been interested and excited about the Nokia brand, now they actually have something to talk about, as opposed to like some also ran phone that has, runs on Windows.
Yeah, and so I mean, look, Andy Hoyle looked at the phone. His first impression is this is definitely it's a beautiful phone, sleek, kind of has that. It's very simplistic looking, has kind of slick curves, cool colors.
3 13 megapixel cameras.
3 13
One of them
megapixel cameras.
only shoots in black and white.
Right.
So kind of cool.
Look, they didn't mince words. They're definitely going after a younger generation here. They want people who take selfies, who live stream, who live on Snapchat, and so
Who love doing both-ies, whatever that
both
is.
these. I think did I just make that up?
I don't know.
I don't think that's an official term.
I'll give you the credit for it.
Yeah,
Why
let's
not?
do that.
Yeah.
Let's just throw around credit for no reason.
Yeah.
All right, next up is the Essential phone. This is a phone that Andy Rubin has shown off.
No relation.
Right. A lot of hype around it. You can finally order it today. In fact, you could pre-order on Sprint, or you could order through Essential's website as an unlocked phone. Just remember, Sprint has sort of the exclusive U.S. carrier partner, so you can only
You can get it from a couple of other websites. I think
you can get
Best
from
Buy,
Best Buy, Essential, but that's
Amazon.
unlocked. If you want to go into a store to buy the carrier, you have to go to Sprint.
So Essential also, it's a $700 phone as opposed to the Nokia 8, $600. So the iPhone is somewhere in between for the base model.
And you tried it. I mean, you kind of had. I mean,
I held it in my hand.
You had it in your hand. I mean, what did you think of the notch? So everyone's talking about the notch.
I hardly even noticed it because like when Andy Rubin handed it to me, I had like only a couple seconds with it.
Okay.
And he only gave us the lock screen, so we weren't able to like open his emails and be like, all right, who's he talking to? But it looked like a sleek phone, but frankly, it looked like any other Android phone. So it's going to be tough for them to break into the market. Everybody knows that, and we'll see how they're able to do it.
All right, lastly, we can't not talk about the solar eclipse on Monday.
Woohoo!
The total eclipse. actual total eclipse, not of the heart.
Not in New York, but
Not here.
in a lot of other places.
But in the path of totality, there's that sort of runs kind of diagonal across North America. So, look, we've got our guide on CNET, so definitely check it out. Obviously, we recommend getting proper glasses. Do not stare at the solar eclipse.
Do not stare at the sun.
Do not stare at the sun. If you're using a phone, by the way, you should use a filter on the phone's lens as well. Don't use autofocus. Manually focus on the sun. Don't use flash. Good tip. And just enjoy yourself. All right. So for these stories and more, check us out on CNET. I'm Roger Cheng.
I'm Ben Fox Rubin.
Thanks for listening.
Does anybody remember the shoebox trick?
Yes, I remember that.
I never did it, though.
And it didn't make any sense to me even back then. Like, I was told, don't stare at it, but if you stare at it through this tiny little hole, which has no filter or protection, you'll be fine.
I thought the hole was meant to provide some sort of, like, you were supposed to look at like a cardboard piece that the
Like the
pinhole.
reflection?
Yeah, the reflection.
Yeah, but then you're not really staring at it.
No, you're not.
So that
but then you're not.
sucks.
I mean, it's good that they have the glasses.
I feel like
now.
I saw that. I've heard that as well. Like, it's supposed to like cast a reflection so you could sort of see what the silhouette would be, but
I don't remember the last time there was a solar eclipse
because
in the
it's
U.S.
been decades.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
I remember
like
back in
this.
the last time we talked about it was I may have been in elementary or middle school, and we were
that's
talking
the
about
case,
the
yeah.
shoebox trick.
Yeah.
So now they've obviously improved the technology where they have overly expensive glasses that may or may not work.
But be warned, there are, and CNET's got sort of the details.
There are phonies.
There are phony glasses out there that aren't certified.
And that can hurt you.
That can actually hurt you.
So we do have info on the glasses that you
Yes.
should actually purchase that I would argue are grossly overpriced.
Well, here it is. It's a pinhole projector.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. That's what they call it.
Ben, we were kind of
I'm not
talking
gonna do that.
about this right before the show. What was the 5-pack you were referencing?
There's a 5-pack that you can still find.
Of
I
glasses.
looked at it on Amazon.
Do our
maybe 2
viewers
days
want to
ago.
go in on a 5-pack?
Yeah.
We'll buy the 5-pack.
5-pack for $35.
PayPal, Venmo us the
and
money.
then spend like $18 to ship them out, back out.
It's and the 5-pack for $35 was one of the more reasonably priced things that I saw. You can get like one. It's just
That is price
there's a lot
gouging.
of gouging that's going
Yes.
on because
I mean,
hey, it's the eclipse.
$7 for a pair of glasses. That's pretty.
They're cardboard glasses
Yeah.
with like a little filter
for a
thing on them.
one-time use thing. That's
It's really like there's a lot of like hucksterism that's going on.
So are you gonna get the glasses?
If I can convince some other people to go in with me, maybe.
you got
I mean, like
people in the
$7
office
is
here.
fine.
I could probably build some here with some of the lens filtration we have.
That would be kind of awesome and very CNET-y
Yes,
of
you should
us.
MacGyver it.
I'll try.
I like it.
That
I will
would
try.
be very DIY of us.
All right, it's time to jump into the chat. Imagine Sagi says, any
Hey,
plans?
Imagine Sagi.
Any plans on bringing the 3310 to the U.S.?
We haven't heard anything
They
about that
were
yet.
kind of cagey about it. I think they wanted to, but it really depends on U.S. carriers, right? I think they really want to work with the carriers to kind of get these phones here so people will actually buy in a meaningful way. And it's a tough sell going to a carrier and be like, hey,
Do you want this
get
novelty
this
phone?
candy bar phone that runs on a 2G network. Can you sell, please?
Yeah,
that's a
they would
tough
have
sell.
to probably upgrade it at least to 3G, right? Because aren't we
At
shutting
this point,
down our
most
2G?
yeah, at this point, most of those phones require an LTE radio.
Mm-hmm.
So, because they want to get everything on a 4G, so they could start actually taking the 3G spectrum and moving that up. So,
My hope, I'm with Imagine Sagi on this one in that it was such a big splash at Mobile World Congress that I hope that it does come to the U.S. I think that it is another great opportunity for people to buy something that is completely different as opposed to, like all these different flagship phones that are often interchangeable.
look, that said, I don't know how. I'm a little skeptical about how well it would do in the U.S. because I know in Europe and other parts of the world, Nokia is a huge name, has been a huge name consistently.
Mm-hmm.
In the U.S., the Nokia brand kind of faded. I don't know, like
In the early aughts.
like,
Like
yeah,
like a
exactly.
decade
Like
ago.
they faded way faster here in the U.S. because they didn't have great carrier support and because their smartphones just didn't catch up to everyone else's. Right?
People still, I totally hear you, but people still remember the Nokia name.
Did you have a Nokia phone?
Yeah.
All right. It was my first
had-
phone. My first phone was Nokia.
I think that we've talked about this on the podcast before. I think it might be great for kids.
Yeah.
Might be great for people that want to like unplug from, staring at their phone all the time.
Actually, that for me. Like, I wouldn't mind a phone like that to just carry around on the weekends.
Yeah.
So, like, basically,
Or like
say,
when you're on vacation.
Yeah, when you're telling people like, "Hey, I can't be reached via email," like literally, like
Why?
this phone
Because
has
I
no
have a
email.
brick.
That's right. I've got this candy bar phone that only allows me to play Snake.
Yes.
That's it.
It would
So-
be great if it caught on because when I'm walking around in the city, people are literally almost walking into me every single day. If anything, that problem has just gotten worse where people just think that it's okay to like walk and look at your phone all the time.
I would still be doing that with that phone because I'd be playing Snake.
You'd be playing Snake.
I spend a
Like,
lot of time gauging what's going on. If somebody's staring at a phone and I can tell if they're like panicking, they're trying to figure out a map, they're tourists in the city, I cut them a break.
Yeah.
If somebody's coming at me and they're like a mom with a stroller or dogs or big heavy thing,
You punch them
I'll
in the face.
casually move out of the way and be courteous. But if it's homeboy fiddling around with text messages, I ain't moving.
Brian
I'll
hates
take the hit.
homeboy.
Whoever
homeboy is.
He'll just firm up. He's like, "All right, let's go."
I'll hockey
Homeboy
check
is
that
going to
fool.
show up in the office one day and be like, guys, this is homeboy. He's been doing all the bad things.
All right, let's go back into the chat.
Yeah.
Mike Wright. Well, first, I want to give a shout out to Joseph Del Mundo, finally watching the live 359 for the first time. What's up,
Hey,
welcome.
Mike Wright asks, will it have fingerprint? Now, he didn't specify if that was a Nokia or Essential phone.
I'm going to say the Nokia 3310. And no, it won't have fingerprint.
I don't believe. Does the Nokia 8 have the fingerprint sensor?
We got to look it up really quickly. I believe that they do have a fingerprint sensor on the front.
Could you clarify if you meant the Nokia 8 or the Essential phone?
Yes, please, Mike Wright.
And that will give us time to
look up the
filibuster.
Moving on.
Go on CNET.
All right.
And you'll find out.
We got a question from Oscar. It says, Samsung obviously needs to bring something to the table with the Note 8. What surprise feature do you suspect?
That's a great question. And yes, we are expecting the Note 8 to be revealed on Wednesday.
Yeah.
So this is really like we're getting into the heated time of all the flagships getting revealed.
I mean, I don't have any advanced information, but I I would hope that the biggest differentiator for the Note for a while has been size, right? So I would hope that they do something with the S Pen, something more, whether it's, there's been rumors about voice controls or some sort of mic on it. Maybe they finally,
like a speaker
or
on the S Pen.
Yeah. So maybe they do something with the S Pen because that's the only real differentiating factor between that and every other like jumbo phone that's out there.
You really think that that's going to get people like super excited and
No.
waiting in line?
No.
Like that there's going to be
But
some.
people are going to wait in line for the Note 8. I mean, this is not.
I know, but like a variation on the pen to me doesn't sound that exciting.
You have to remember that I'm willing to bet they want to play a little safe, right? The Note 7.
Oh yeah.
The Note 7
You're
was
right.
a super feature-packed phone, and look at the consequences. So
Right.
they probably want to hold things back a little bit. But the
Make
Note
sure that it works.
Note line has definitely a tradition of introducing innovations and features that sort of ripple down to the Galaxy S line.
Well,
so
it's a fine line you got to walk. I mean, Samsung are noted innovators, and they cram so much into a single phone, and they might have gotten a little too big for their britches, and they had to like backpedal just a little bit. I know there's varying degrees of response to that, but then you got Apple on the other side, and they haven't innovated anything in a long time, and they're just playing safe and just kind of coasting, and they still make a fine product. I'm not
and they
trying
make
to
a ton of money making
and they
those
make
products.
a ton of money. So I mean, where's the risk? How much is the risk worth?
I would still like to see a fingerprint sensor that's integrated into the front of the phone.
I think,
They,
yeah.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Right. And I don't even know
not
if
this
that's
time
gonna
around,
happen.
but I think it's coming.
I think the question is whether the iPhone is going to have it either.
I think that's the big question. Yeah.
But yeah, with the Note 8, I guess as Roger, who is our phone genius, attests, it's probably
Such a
not
genius. I
going to be
had
in there.
to look up the answer, but just to be clear, the Nokia 8 does have a fingerprint sensor in the front.
Okay, thank you. Back to the chat. Joseph recollects, I remember having a Nokia flip phone, and the awesome feature was on the side. There was a button that flipped the phone open for you. It was spring-loaded.
Yeah.
Yes.
I forgot that even happened once upon a
I
time.
had that. My only Nokia
Didn't
phone
they,
was the candy bar one.
Didn't they have like the Razr phone? I remember this was
it
from,
the Razr?
From the no,
Razr
no,
did
this
not
is a
have
different one. This was
That
the
was
phone
Motorola.
that opened up like this. It like
That was
jumped
Nokia.
out.
Oh yeah, and they
The
broke almost
slider?
instantly.
The slider phone.
Yeah, the slider phone. I remember it was
I
in
know
the Matrix.
LG made one. Nokia, the one that was in the Matrix was the Nokia one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't even know if that one was sold in the U.S. though. I feel like because I was like, damn, that phone's awesome, and I like went looking for it. I really couldn't find it.
I vaguely remember having a phone like that after watching The Matrix
Okay.
and opening the phone every single time.
But the bottom of the phone like wasn't anything. It was like basically a cover, right? And then like slid down. Or no?
There may have been a keyboard underneath.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
No,
you
that was the deal. Like the keyboard was under the cover, and the cover would slide down, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
so it would kind of curve, so it looked like a kind of like a traditional phone.
Right. And you could answer the phone and just say like, Neo, this is Loco.
There you go.
So
That was.
that's
Not-
from
that
The
was-
Matrix.
I know. I was like, that was not the Matrix line. I was thinking you would say.
What?
Of all, I don't know why, but that was just,
It's my favorite Matrix line. It's a great line.
All right. Oscar says, I like this idea. The S Pen should have a touch sensor that would control the phone even when it's not touching it. So like you're saying that you can like air paint, kind of like in VR.
Oh, or like in Minority Report, sort of ish.
kind
I
of.
refuse to watch that movie.
Wait,
It's
what?
pretty good.
Wait, why do you
I've
refuse?
had this conversation with Bacalar many times. I'm not going to watch that movie.
Why?
I like
Because
this.
it's Tom Cruise.
Okay.
It's a great movie.
I mean, he is rather grating. We can all agree.
really, I like Tom Cruise.
Okay.
I'm
I
okay
mean,
with him.
You know.
Imagine Sagi asks, how do the front and back camera work the final image, the video, at the same time on the new Nokia phone?
Okay, so that's a pretty technical question. I
In
don't
terms
know
of
if I can answer
how does
that.
it work technically, or how does it look?
I think he's looking
Oh.
for more of a response to the quality of the
Oh,
results.
the quality of the video? I don't know yet. We haven't. Our colleague in the UK got his hands on the phone, so we're still going through the. We've got a first take up. We have some time
with some video,
Yeah, with some video.
of the like the split screen look,
Yeah.
so you can see that, and
I
it
mean,
looked pretty good to
It
me.
looked good, but you can't really tell if how sharp the resolution is from that particular
Right.
video. You'll have to just sort of hang on until the review comes out.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's go back to the Eclipse, and this is just on my own personal curiosity. I myself am just kind of geeky, but very unknowledgeable about astronomy. Sorry.
Sure.
Sorry.
You've proven your point.
Yeah. Whoa. In the article, we got many recommendations from your guys' personal perspective. What is your top tier in the article? That will be in the link in the description as far as your best solution to watch the eclipse on Monday.
I think the glasses
Yeah.
are probably the coolest
Yeah.
because otherwise you're kind of not even looking.
I'm not going to
or-
build a pinhole projector.
No, like those are from like that's like the decade-old
Right.
technology. The
It's
problem
more
is
than a decade.
decades.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
it was fun back in the day as a kid. That was like a project in science class.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. The problem is you're definitely overpaying for these Eclipse glasses that you're not going to need
Unless Brian builds them.
unless Brian builds them.
CNET
So,
branded.
but I would say that like look, if you're really interested, then it is worth the money because when's the next time we're going to have a total eclipse in the area? Probably
Many decades.
I mean, that's
Many
it. You're
decades.
paying for like the quasi once in a lifetime experience
Right.
for some,
maybe twice.
at best. So I mean, it's cool.
3 times
no
if
doubt.
you're like
Throw
really
down a couple of bucks,
exceptionally
not too
long
bad.
away.
fly to other
And then it's a
eclipses.
commemoration.
True.
It's just a commemoration. You
Hey,
can put that on a shelf, and
you're
your
selling
grand.
these
Yeah,
eclipse
grand-
It's
glasses.
like,
You
what
are.
was that? I stared at the sun.
Ben's on Amazon as we speak. She's like, I just ordered it. Get him here now.
I don't know. We should at least rally the office. I bet we could find a few others who
You
would go
can
in on the five
find
pack.
5 people to chip in.
Yeah.
I will not be one of them.
Okay. Thanks.
Hope everybody else enjoys their time with the eclipse on Monday. Good luck. We'd love to see your results. If anybody gets any good photography going on, tweet at us. And I think that's about it to wrap up the week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good luck. And yeah, again, please don't stare at the eclipse without glasses. I feel like people are going to do it. They're just going to instinctively, as they're trying to shoot with their phone, just kind of look up for a second and
Don't
it's
do
just
it.
don't
You're
do it.
so
man.
funny. You're like, you know what? I'm just a bunch of knuckleheads out there. They're not going to listen to me. It's okay.
All right. Well, that's it for the week.
Yeah.
Wow.
What a wonderful
by.
week it was. It was.
Yeah. Well, look, if you liked anything you saw or heard here, check us out on CNET. Our podcast is also available on iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, SoundCloud, FeedBurner, and Google Play Music.
See y'all next week.
See y'all next week.